Here we go. Let's share this. There we go. Okay. I think that's better. There we go. Oh, poop. What were we working on? Yeah, let's boot up Unreal. Oh, come on. There it goes. There. Okay. 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 Let's figure out where we were. There we go. Alrighty. Let's see if we can. Let's change the title a little bit. There we go. Nuclear Penguins is the name of this game that I've been working on. It has been in very slow development. Oh, there we go. Whoops, sorry. Mouse cord got stuck. Alrighty. I was working on getting some scenery set up in Blender. There it is. Yeah, I was actually working on getting some scenery set up in Blender that I could drop in there. But I really don't want to deal with getting the materials imported and looking properly because I'm still working on getting a lot of logic set up. The game is pretty bare bones at the moment. Right now, I've gotten a mild collection mechanic working. And I kind of just went through and reanimated. I don't know if I like the hat on this penguin. So basically, the premise of the game is a kind of cartoony, low poly RTS, just like a simple strategy game, but make it like really wacky and fun at the same time. So that's what I've kind of been shooting for here. It's been coming along all right. It's just development's been slow because I'm only able to work on it like maybe 2 hours a day. But I've been working on it for about 3 weeks now. I moved my water bottle out of the way. I can't even see my screen. There we go. Today we can either work on enemies or we can work on. I don't really want to work on refining anything right now. And I don't want to work in Blender. Let's work on maybe getting. I have some really basic UI. My brother's actually been working on making a little bit more complex UI, but I've just needed something that I can use while. Let's look at the controller. While I'm trying to just get majority of the front side on the programming done. Our player camera, RTS controller. Need to see what the UI is that we're actually using. Boom. Okay. That's what he changed to. I knew he had changed actually the UI. I told him to just go ahead and make a duplicate of it. See if he. No, he's not going to be on. I was about to say it'd be cool to also have him on while we're doing this. Get him to actually explain some stuff, but I think might be able to next week. There we go. Okay, so that I need to remember how this actually calls that because it was kind of funny how it actually sets. Does it still use? Yeah, it does. Still uses that unit context. Let's go look at that. There we go. Okay. Let's call it. No, we don't need that. Looking at maybe trying to get the building menu set up. No, not nuclear reactor. That'd be cool. In Unreal. No. Okay, so what this game is a nuclear. So I'm trying to build a strategy game that I've been working on for about 3 weeks now. And we can actually get rid of these walls now that we kind of have a little kind of bare bones landscape set up. Oh, we got one more. No, building a low poly RTS game. Like very cartoony. You can kind of see by the basic penguin I've made in Blender, maybe some of the art style. These mountains are going to get changed out. But what this essentially is going to be is just like a really simple cartoony strategy game with some like minor, I don't know, basic resource mechanics. Right now I have a fish collection. This pond is going to change. I'm thinking that the style, at least, this will be like your kind of main hut that you can upgrade, or main like town hall, if you're like thinking like Clash of Clans or whatever, that you'll be able to level up and improve over time. And so far I'm kind of sitting at a wave-based theme, but I don't know if we'll actually have an enemy faction that you can beat, or, I mean, there'll be an enemy faction. Any lore? No, that's actually what I've been trying to think of. I've got a buddy who I was like, man, come on. Okay, so yes, I do have kind of an idea for lore. I was thinking that nuclear penguins, the reason it being nuclear penguins is kind of like Fallout, where it was like the Cold War if it went hot. Essentially, that we would have, like, this is the result of a nuclear fallout. There was a scientist who went to either the North Pole or Antarctica and try to escape the nuclear fallout and avoid being killed in the nuclear war. He would go down to Antarctica and basically turn penguins into a resource. And not a resource like use them, but turn them into like a labor force. And from there, he was able to like genetically modify them, and now they're like borderline fully sentient, like fully conscious. And since then, he's died, and they've evolved maybe like 50 years into the future, and now there's all these mutants that are results of the nuclear fallout that you have to defend against. So thinking like, and like, it's all like cartoony and wacky. Like I'm my goal maybe by this weekend is to give a penguin, one of these penguins, a rocket launcher. But the like thinking on the enemy side, like dolphin with legs that can spew acid or something crazy, right? But like I said, it's really zany, not necessarily gory or whatever, but maybe a little on the like PG-13 violence in terms of you might have a penguin get split in half or something. I don't know. I don't know. Something crazy, but like yes, that's exactly what kind of what I'm trying to get at is it's just like really like over exaggerated. Right now, I just kind of got the logic. It's not clean yet. And the UI, this is all going to change, but this was all just a mock up. Yes. So I have started, and everything in the game so far, we have not, none of these are assets I borrowed from anybody else. These are all homegrown assets. And I know exactly what you mean. I've gotten 20 minutes into a project before and just gave up. I've got like, I think in my Unreal or in my Epic Games library, I've got like 6 games that I've started on and just absolutely never finished. And yes, I agree with you. It can be a bit of a bummer. Last night I was adjusting the camera length because it used to be like really close. So the camera length, let me get this out of the way, was actually originally like this up until last night. That was one of the things I finished before I kind of called it for the evening. And I really didn't like that. I kind of like that more zoomed out. The goal is to have maybe 100 penguins that you might have on screen at any time, starting with like 3 or 4 and then growing that up. But I'm wanting to start just streaming this once or at least maybe twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday. The development, I think that'll help me like keep motivated to keep working on it. I love programming. I hate C++ to a degree. Sorry, there was a little hair floating off. So that's why I like to work in Blueprints, and also Unreal has a lot of abstractions that I've gotten probably too comfortable with that keeps me from doing much with C++. Um, so I don't get into that side of it on Unreal very much. I've had to a couple times, but for the most part, everything I'm trying to stick to Blueprints for the most part because I've got one guy who's doing some sound and then some programming on the game, and I've got a buddy who's doing trying to do all the UI himself. And neither one of them can do any programming whatsoever. So that that's where trying to learn Python. Python's good. Python's a really good first language. It wasn't my first language, but Python is really good because the syntax is very easy to understand, and it kind of hides a little bit of abstraction for you. In terms of, or I shouldn't say abstraction. It gives you abstraction. So you can kind of hide from low level concepts a little bit, and yeah, it's a really good way to get into programming if you're just starting out. The only thing I don't like about Python is it can be a bit unfocused and messy, and it's not always extremely performant. But if you're not working on an enormous project, then yeah, Python's great. There's a reason a lot of people adopt it. It's because you can pick up on it and learn a lot of programming concepts through that. I started with Java, and I never want to go back. I keep wanting to do like a little Minecraft mod where I can get people to play through a live stream on chat and write all that myself, and I think that'd be fun. But I don't think that's necessarily going to work. You know what? I can't talk and work very well at the same time. Well, I'm trying to think of what I want to work on. I think we're going to work on getting maybe possibly I want to get this little worker penguin that's got the construction hat. I don't like his hat. I think his hat needs to change. I think it's hiding his face too much, so maybe the hat can stay the same, or I need to darken it. But from the top, it just kind of looks... It's a little hard to... Oh, whoops. Sorry. It's a little hard to tell what he's actually got going on. Yeah, Java is... Java is... So the nice thing about Python is you're, for the most part, going to be, unless you choose to go to more object-oriented style, but Java is really easy to get introduced in a procedural style of programming, which is where you... I'm going to be corrected by somebody, and I usually am. But Java, or sorry, Python's really good because you can just write a function that calls a function that calls a function, and you don't have to really think more beyond that. A lot of Java centers around object-oriented programming. And I think there's a time and place for it. And you can do that in Python. Python has a class system and everything in which you can create inheritance. And I guess I've heard it's actually more performant, which is surprising because with how a lot of people tend to write object-oriented code, it can go the other way. And Unreal is extremely object-oriented. So that's where you have like classes and child classes. There's a lot more to it, but in an elevator pitch, that's what you got going. The nice thing about inheritance is you can kind of understand and in terms of like a family tree on how everything is generated. The only problem is it can be easy to accidentally abstract beyond what you mean to. And doing a Java mod on Minecraft, that like I've thought about doing a mod. Yeah. You know what? Actually, sorry to interrupt myself, but we're going to work on getting this little worker penguin to actually do a build buildings. I don't know. Well, now let's work on getting actually our rocket launcher penguin going. So we'll go ahead and Blender. We'll open that guy up. Let's save the mountain that we've been working on, and we'll go and open up the worker penguin. We're going to modify him. We'll just save this as a new one and name the rocket penguin. There we go. And we're going to, let's see, let's go ahead and remove this guy's hat. There we go. We go to take the material, edit, select, and delete faces. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Let's go back to the zero animation. Hey, yeah, well, hey, you have a good night, bud. Like I said, I'm going to be doing this every Tuesday and Thursday, so that's my goal at least. That's when I can kind of get away from everybody for a guaranteed couple hours. Everybody's got kind of a schedule going. So, yeah, definitely if you hop in, I'd be glad to chat about the game. And, you know, I like getting ideas and inspiration from people. Have a good evening, dude. Let's go ahead and add. Oh, whoops. No, let's not mess with that. I think we need to... what do we want to work on? Let's go ahead and just get this freaking mountain imported, actually. Next time I probably need to plan ahead of time what I want to do if I'm going to be streaming this. I think this looks kind of good. Let's go ahead and actually assign that the snow texture. There we go. Just make that snow cap a little bit cleaner. Oops. Did that actually apply over there? Yeah, it did. And let's take these vertices and drag them out. Oh, an icebreaker? What do you mean an icebreaker? Like what would it be used for? I guess. Because, yeah, I am trying to think of like abilities and everything to put into the game. I think we're good there. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm because I was thinking about having like ice cliffs that you could go harvest, and that would be like an early resource that you could use to build certain structures. But I haven't been entirely sure yet. Oh, we need to bring that down to 0 before we export. So, okay, yes. And I was thinking since the penguins get a little sentient, you can build like a research hut, and they could like you could once you build the research hut, it unlocks like genetically modified penguins, so you could build like a giant penguin, or it'd be like an emperor penguin but like a little mutated. And then like I don't know, you could have a different unlock that kind of gives you different equipped penguins. So like you would have like a rocket penguin or a machine gun penguin maybe that you get, or like a laser shooting penguin or something. But then you could also get one that's got like it's like maybe the giant emperor penguin has chainsaws for hands or something, like I said, really wacky and zany. That brings a little bit more character to it. But yes, I had actually thought of using like an emperor penguin, and just like I said, he's just but overly enormous because the scientist penguins have figured out how to like genetically modify them. I think this mountain's starting to look good. I don't like how that corner looks though. Before we export it, actually, let's go ahead and fix that. Mm-hmm. There we go. Oh, we're gonna get some weird issues doing that. Oh, I can't remember. Is it J for join? No. All right, sweet bud, appreciate it. Yeah, we can add another subdivision. Awesome. Have a good night, bud. Let's go. X. There we go. I don't know. There's just something about this curve right here that just feels really off. And I think actually probably what I need to do is instead of trying to bring that corner up, I need to bring these down a little bit. And I think that will help. It just feels like a really hard cut right there. And we're going to do a couple different styles, but this is just like kind of barriers around the map that I'm just trying to insert in, to give the world, make the world feel a little bit more like an actual in-game world. Okay. There we go. No animation. Boom. Export. All right, let's bring that in. See how that looks. And we'll make a new folder called set pieces. Let's go with that. Mountains. Oop. And Blender Projects, mountains. Okay, well, I forgot to select that when I exported. That would help. Oh, poop, and we forgot to apply all transforms. There we go. Let's try it one more time. Yep, I think we're good. Alrighty. Cancel, import, mountain. Yep, there we go. Yes, import. All right. How's that look? Let's move it out into some flat terrain. And what if we take the second one? Nope, don't want to do that. Bring it out. Well, that could look good. I think we'll need a post-processing effect and adjust the sun. Otherwise, I think that could look really good. Let's get into the landscape and just mess around a little bit with flatten. Oh, it's been a while since I've had to use the landscaping tool. But yeah, that's generally what I want. This is a test level anyways, but I will call that flat. Let's move that sun just a little bit down. Yeah, I don't like that as much. Just feels a little darker. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab more water. All right. Let's get this kind of all spread out a little bit. Let's bring all those out. And there we go. Okay, so if we want to get a build system set up, let's get the basic ping one. This is our worker ping one. Let's just get a very, very basic structure that he can go build. General, yeah. Save. Let's go over here. Just get like a tower. Then we can work on getting like a garrisonable structure set up too. There we go. Let's move that. No, we need that. There we go. And let's add an array. Count 1. Oh, 2. Duh. There we go. And we will add a mirror. We'll do that over the y-axis. Well, that's not what we want. Oh, I see why. And it's adding it over there. That is a bit odd. That is a bit odd. I don't know why it's doing that. Why would it not mirror? Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Trying to think of why it's not. Oh, I know why. Okay. Let's just do this. For some reason. Because it's mirroring over itself. I'm just an idiot. That would do it. Okay, so let's just do this instead. We can do this. Here, let's bring those over first. Oh, can't remember the shortcut for edge slide. Was that? Oh, Control 3, really? That's what I want. No, let's bring those like that. And I don't think this will be a final piece, but there we go. looks good. No. Let's inset that a little bit. Drop that down. And actually, let's drop these down. We'll do more like a fence. And can we... This is probably not the best way to do it. But I think I can extrude along normals. Well, that was... Oh. No, that's really not what we wanted. It might be extrude manifold. No, that's very much not it either. Oh, I thought there was an easy way to do that. Might be extrude individual. That's what we wanted. There we go. Except we didn't have that selected. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually break these out. So we'll grab everything. This is not the right way to do it, but man, next time when I stream on either Tuesday, yeah, I might be able to Saturday, but we're gonna actually get some music going. Okay, so let's do this, and we can merge them all right there, but these we'll bring over. Boom. And we'll do the same thing. Oh, we'll do the same thing over here. And then we can bring this down. Again, probably not the best way to do it. Not super worried necessarily about performance. That's looking good. And I am not super familiar with the shortcuts for this, but let's make like a really basic ladder. We just need something we can test out for making something the penguins can garrison in and like kind of shoot from that you can build. So we'll be able to function a little, we'll be able to mess with creating a build system a little bit more at the same time that we can work on garrisonable structures for your penguins to go hide in. Which I think will be very nice. Let's create a mirror. Not a mirror, that's going to be... actually, yes, let's make a mirror. We will do it over the cube, go over the y-axis, and then G, Y. And let's bring it over to... Not over the Y. Yes, over the Y, not over the X. And I think it'll look better if we put it at just a bit of a tilt. Yeah, we'll do that. But let's get the rungs added first. And then we can bring that down. And we can extrude to the middle. Perfect. And then let's build an array vertically. 0, 1. That looks good. Let's scale that down and build up that count. Set origin, 3D cursor. There we go. And we're just going to save this as test watchtower. Or let's do tower A. There we go. Yep. All right. Now A, convert to mesh. Oh. And then Control A, all transforms. File, export, FBX. There we go, U84, mesh, boom, turn off the animation, export. All right, let's bring that back into Unreal. We need just a generic material. Actually, for now, we're just gonna add the stone texture to it. This really is just so we can get more game logic going. So let's go ahead and structures, tower A. Let's set color on this to just set to blue. For remotely reliable, import, because we're not doing much here. Let's go ahead and set a mesh folder, folder mesh, and import. And tower A, preview, cube, material, yep. Import. And then for these materials, let's just set that to stone. Because it looks good enough for now. Stone. Boom. Well, that's not supposed to do that. That is odd. That we've got all sorts of things wrong with that. Yeah, I am actually not entirely sure why. What do we change it? That really is odd. Are all our faces inside out? Overlay. Face orient. Yes, they are. Okay, well. Face. Is it face or UV? Face. Crap. What is it to change your face orientation? Okay, we're just gonna Google it. Change face orientation. Yes, comes right up. Okay. So Alt in, flip. There we go. All right. Let's re-import this. Yep. So file, export. Yes. All right. Let's re-import. Content browser. There we go. And re-import mesh. There we go. Stone. Boom. Awesome. There we go. Perfect. So then let's get back out of the mesh. BP tower A. I think I'm gonna mess with my lighting on this too, for my camera, because we're gonna shrink me down a little bit, but it is very bright. It makes me look extremely pale. I do go outside. I do work outside. We're gonna have to hop off soon for tonight, but I am starting to like that we finally have a direction to go on the next stream. So that will be what we do. Oh, that's funny. The green on my water bottle actually, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it gets chroma keyed out. Alrighty, so this may have to inherit from the towers class. I don't think it will. I think we can just go off interfaces. So we'll need a unit context, and then we'll need to add, I think, structures. Yeah, I think we need to add a structures interface to it. BPI structure. I'm trying to remember what that brings along with it. Get job type. Okay, so that's going to be a none. Team default by that is going to be nothing. There we go. Alrighty, sorry, we are back. My wife called, letting me know that my kids finished up gymnastics, so I may need to be wrapping this up soon. But Tuesday and Thursday is my plan for working on this. It's when they go to gymnastics, so that is kind of a perfect time for me to live stream this. All right, we are in the middle of building a tower. Let's get the mesh added in. Boom, static mesh. Yes, yes. Oh man, I don't want to inherit. I don't think we need to inherit. I think we can just bring in the regular interfaces on locations. Static mesh. We'll need two. We're gonna do that. Attach. There we go. base. And then we'll call the next one just the ladder. There we go. And let's go and drop those in. Base, mesh. Let's rename that. SM, base, tower, A. And then SM, ladder, tower, A. There we go. Great. And then we'll drop the base in and drop the ladder in. And let's see how that looks when we bring it in. Pause save. And tower A, drag that in. It needs to be higher up on the z-axis, so let's fix that. Bring up the scene. Oh, nope. Bring up the mesh. Oops. Can you not? I thought you could select, but there we go. That looks great. All right, first let's get to where we can get penguins to go in there. Let's say we can have 4 in there. And we will call this just positions. There we go. Pause 1. Pause 2. Yep, we're 1 indexing. Pause 3. And pause 4. Great. Okay, now we need to set up positions. Okay, well, all right. And then let's make a map. Nope. Trying to remember what those actually inherit from. Oh. Component object. Let's go off component object. We're going to make a map. Well, crap, what did we use last time? Sure, arrow component. Can I do it with a scene component? Are those compatible? What does that inherit from? Yes, I can do that. I'd rather do that. Rather try to keep it a little bit more generic. So we'll make that a map with a Boolean. Sweet. Alrighty, we're about to have to wrap it up this evening. But let's go get positions. Get all children. And add for each. Boom, and we'll just create those on spawn. Hopefully we can start getting into some more exciting things, but probably won't today. That is okay though. Probably about where I'm gonna have to wrap it up for the evening, but we kind of have the foundation of where we're at. So on event begin play. No, we're fine there. We don't need to do anything there. We run that in the construction script, class settings. I think I have an interface already for. Let's go to structures interface and let's just work it in there. And I think we'll put this in the job types enums. Does Garrison have 2 R's? Today it does. I'm trying to remember where we're using that at. I have no idea. Let's see if we can find my name. I'm trying to remember where this is getting used. This is why people use a GDD. Okay. So in buildings, we're not using this. We're just using this, I think, on units. Interfaces. No, we're not. That's on get worker info. Okay, well that's odd. Where is this getting used? We might not be using that at all. Let's check that again. Did we... I can't remember if it actually keeps that search up or not. Yes, it does. Great. Okay. So that's actually where we're using it. So that's what we want to use. That's right. Get job type. And we need to add to our job types enums. And then we're going to wrap it up for the evening. Building types. Where does that get used? I wrote all this too. Let's go to job type. No, that's actually not what we want. Well, actually, yeah. I think it switches on that. Well, I think we're just going to kind of freaking figure it out. This is why game dev gets so messy. Alrighty, I think we are at where we're going to call it for the night, but tomorrow we'll actually be able to play with getting the penguins to hop into the structure and appear, and then we'll get some penguins that can shoot going. We'll see where I like to also work a lot of the evenings, so we probably by Tuesday we should be a little bit progressed.
Everybody who was watching, thank you. If you're watching this later, have a good night. Bye.